about. I think sometimes my age can be a factor. So making a great connection.
Today we're going to be discussing dating in your 40s. Stay tuned. All right, happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to another episode of Claire Haire. We are going to be discussing my thoughts on the new Love is Blind season 8. And we're going to be discussing, we're going to be talking about dating while you're 40 plus. For reference, I'm 33 years old, so I know you're about to delete this video as soon as you hear me talking. Shut your 33-year-old self up. I know, but let me talk. Let me cook. So we're going to be discussing what it feels like to date in your 40s just from singing. And then one of the main persons that we're going to be discussing is this lady here at the beginning, who is 42 years old. I want to say one of the oldest person on Love is Blind. I'm here to tell you, go home. This is Love is Blind 8. Love is Blind is about games now. Love is Blind is about being a content creator. Like, I feel like in the we'll talk about the state of Love is Blind in a minute, but let's talk about the state of the dating world. Like, first things first. Most of the people who are in their 40s and still not married yet, they're either they want their second marriage, they have kids, their kids are grown up, or they have games. And the games are not Squid Games. They're here to play games with you. So I feel like I would just assume, because like I said, I'm not in my 40s, but like at your 40s, like I feel like you know what you want. Your standards are where they're at. I wouldn't say stuck in your ways, but at 33, I kind of already feel stuck in my ways. But I feel like you know what you want just from having a conversation with someone. I also feel like 40s is the new 30s, almost 20s a little bit, because I feel like for us millennials, like I feel like we are aging a decade behind. I'm not talking about skin. I mean, some of us, but I feel like we're aging a decade behind because we had so many events. Like when I look at how many events have taken place over the last 20 years, I was like, I'm surprised half of us are not like all jokes aside, like I'm really surprised that half of us are not just like spiraling out somewhere, which some of us are crashing out. But like we've gone through so many major events like 9/11, different versions of the flu, the internet, getting introduced into the internet. Also like we've just gone through a lot that I feel like we're aging a decade behind. Now, that doesn't mean we're immature. Some of us are. Okay, make sure you're childlike, not childish. All right. But I do feel like we really are not aging in the same time as everybody else. Like I think it's mostly because we're reaching our milestones later in life. Like I told you, I've shared with y'all, I didn't get my first car till I was 27. And I feel like that's a pretty much indicator of most people. Like I have some people who they're like, oh, I'm going to get my first house at 42. I'm going to get this at this age. Also like what is dating? Like I feel like the introduction of internet, I know how your mom is saying, it's you and that phone. She wasn't lying. She wasn't lying this time. It really is that phone. I feel like because we have such easy access to people, we think we have more options than we do. Not saying that you should settle, but I feel like we definitely have more options than that we think we have. Like for example, on Love is Blind, Ultimatum. Okay, the Ultimatum, basically, there was a guy who was 35, and he was like, okay, I'm not ready to get married yet. And he thought bringing his girl being on the show, he's going to have plenty of options. Turns out no one liked him. And he was like, oh, wait, I actually don't have as many options. So like, yes, you do not have as many options as you think you do. Also, what considers an option? Like, for example, like if you're a woman, like every woman, like even if you're not, conventionally attractive, every woman has at least 3 dudes trying to chase her. All right. That doesn't mean those 3 dudes are any good. Like, it's kind of like you going on multiple interviews. That doesn't mean you're a good candidate. Like, it just means you're going on multiple interviews. Like, it's about the quality of quality of the companies you're applying to. So I feel like in your 40s, I feel like there's a lot. I just feel like we're a different version of 40s. Like, when I imagined 40-year-olds, I did not imagine how we be acting. When I imagine a 33-year-old, I did not imagine how we conduct ourselves. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that, like I said, like, because we release our milestones later in life, I truly feel like how we view the world. I feel like we want just one more decade. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the state of Love is Blind. It's season 8, y'all. It's season 8. I can't believe it. Like, I remember when Love is Blind first started. Love is Blind first started during the pandemic, and that was 2019. That was 6 years ago, and we're on season 8. Like, that tells me there's been 2 seasons per year, or maybe 3. In conclusion, there's a lot of seasons. So I feel like let's go back to the main person that we're talking about. I feel like with this lady, who looks phenomenal. I don't know if I put that in there. I put on here, looks amazing. If she would have said she was 32, I would have believed that too. But my main issue is the fact that with this being Love is Blind season 8, like, this is a content creator audition. That's what it is. It stopped being about love like, we lost the plot. We lost it. Okay. We lost the plot a long time ago. I feel like it stopped being about love, I want to say, when did Cameron and Lauren? It's season 1. But it stopped being about love a long time ago. Like, I truly feel like everybody is coming on the show for clout. Like, I have on here before, it was 10% clout, 90% love. Now it's 90% love, not 90% clout, 10% love. Like, I truly feel like people are coming on here to either gain more job opportunities, to promote their business, or promote themselves. Like, there's been plenty of times where someone will come on the show, don't click with someone, but someone at home viewed and was like, dang, I actually like that person, and they end up getting a date that way. So they're almost auditioning themselves in a way. So I don't know. I think it's just, this is not like like right now. I was like, right now, Love is Blind is not where I would put a 40 plus who's looking to seriously settle down. And especially someone who, like, especially if she wants kids, like someone who wants to have kids within at least the next 3 years, like before 45. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go on this show. They play a lot. A lot of the men are not of good quality. A lot of the women are not good quality. Alexa, turn off timer. See, even Alexa is not a good quality. Like, it's just, that was the time for me to move my legs because I've been sitting here for a while. But I really feel like this is not that show. Like, they're like, just from watching the last season, like, so many of these guys, and then like the rapid, almost immediate divorces right after 6 months, like, that's also, I mean, there's a contract that you have to stay married for a certain percentage of time or they will not cover your wedding. Pause for dramatic effect. But allegedly. But I don't know, like, I personally, it's scary to me how easy people are allowed on the show. Like, I feel like I need the vetting process to be higher. Like, this woman is here to not play any games. 42, you're done playing games. Like, not saying you were playing games before, but 42 means it's time. 42 is a nice number to let you know that I'm not playing games with you. If you're here for clout, if you're here to get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend, to promote your business, like to promote your personal training, if you're here and you already have a partner at home, like, that to me, I can say, out of all the things I've seen, like, that to me, the fact that some people really have a partner at home and they're on the show, like, or they're just like, oh, what we had wasn't serious, and they're on the show. Like, I'm not trying to sit there and say, like, okay, during the interview process, is there anybody who thinks they are your girlfriend? Is there anybody who thinks they are your boyfriend? I'm not saying we gotta do this. I mean, like, it's just the honor codes gotta go up. Like, there's like something about the fact that Love is Blind is chaotic. I mean, it makes for good content. It's one of the all my Love is Blind videos are the highest ones on my channel after Pretty Privilege. But it is very frustrating to sit there and, I just imagine her coming on the show and wanting to seriously date and wanting to seriously give this a shot. And someone's on there like, I'm going to go viral from this. Yeah. So I put on here, they need to have more stipulations for Love is Blind. Like, it should be where you're not allowed, which they aren't allowed to post, because it's always a year behind. So what we're watching 2023 almost. But I really want Love is Blind to have higher stipulations and higher standards, because I feel like these people are coming on this show to truly fall in love and they're running into a joke. I also feel like the vetting process needs to be done by someone who's unbiased. Okay. So I have on here the solution for your 40s. I would recommend, like, if you're in your 40s and you haven't found love yet, I would invest in putting money into a actual matchmaker, someone who's a professional, like someone who's going to find someone with your interest, not no love at first sight or anything that will go on the internet or anything like that, but like someone who's truly, this is what they do. Like they have a psychology degree so they can understand behavior and compatibility, like true compatibility. I mean, of course, there's that, that je ne sais pas, like basically what is that it factor that makes you a couple look good? Because there's some people where, like, for example, I have a couple of friends where, like, on paper we should not be friends. On paper we should not even be talking to each other, but the chemistry is there, like on paper it sounds really bad, but like once you have that, like vice versa, I feel like they definitely need, like, to me, if you're in your 40s, I would definitely recommend like going to a matchmaker. It really depends on like how important it is to you, because I know some of these matchmakers can run easily $200 or $300 a consultation, but I rather do that than go on a show and they gonna play. I have on here too as another solution. You need to understand the reality, not the reality show. Understand the reality. Like, a lot of people are happy to be married. They're not happily married. Let's sit that right there. Let's sit that right there. That's not my quote. I don't know where I heard it from. Whoever made that quote, get me in the comments. But a lot of people are just happy to be married. Like, they don't even like this person. Like, the thing about it is just that a lot of people want that status. You get status. Like, for example, like I was talking about, I think I was talking about pregnancy before. I was like, Sky Jackson, no one was posting her. No one was posting her. Not until she got pregnant by Yerky. Is that his name? No one was posting her. No one cared. And that's not me trying to be mean, but it's a fact. Like, no one was posting her. Like, no one was pressed about what she was up to until she got pregnant. Like, pregnancy is clout now. Okay? It's clout. People want to watch you get bigger. They want to watch you get bigger. They want to see how the baby looks like. They want to see your maternity outfits and sleighs. Like, getting pregnant is clout. Like, I see why so many people, if they can't get their ring, they get pregnant. I get it, because the attention, I can see that attention being intoxicating. You go anywhere, everybody's pressed about you. Oh my God, how far along are you? Are you good? Did you need food? Oh my God. Like, everybody's pressed about you. Everybody's treating you like a queen. All right. But same thing with being married. Like, the moment you sit there and you like, you can just be sitting there hanging out with your girlfriend, and you're like, oh, let me go call my husband. Immediately, now you are on a pedestal now. Like, you are put on a pedestal because, like I said, so societal pressure is for women to be married. Are you going to be married or are you going to be a failure? Pretty much. Like, and it has nothing to do with, like, the reason why I know this is that people will celebrate you being in an unhappy marriage as long as you have a husband. And that's the main reason why these men have been walking around doing the bare minimum, because they know the status of that Y chromosome supersedes content/character. Supersedes it. And I can prove it I can prove it with so many marriages where you can clearly see the wife is like the husband's just treating her like horribly. The husband's treating her horribly and they're having a bad time, and they're just like, oh, at least they're still married. Like, oh, okay, so, I can just break my arm, and as long as I still have an arm, it's okay. Like, that's pretty much it. Okay, that's a bit dramatic. But I'm just saying, like, that's pretty much how things go. Like, as long as you're married, as long as you have a man, like, you have a status. There's a status behind it. I have on here too, I was like, stick to your I have another thing on here, final point, is stick to your standards. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that no one cares once you get to a certain age. Stay with me now, ageism. I know. But no one cares. Like, if you sit there and you become a baby mama at 33 compared to a baby mama at 22, there's a stark difference. There's an underlying, you knew better and you should have did better. Like, the empathy that they have for you messing up in your 30s versus your 20s is vast, like, stark different. Like, it's so crazy how ageism plays. But still, I would say if you're in your 40s still single, I'll say stick to your standards, because you've already been waiting this whole time anyways. Like, don't have a might as well baby, don't have a might as well get married. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe, share, definitely take care, and I can't wait to review Love is Blind season 8. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Period. Oh my god, it's stuck. Okay, now it wants to work.